Hello, what's up guys? Welcome to this tutorial. In this tutorial today, I'm going to teach you guys how to actually work with Microsoft Excel. What is Microsoft Excel? Microsoft Excel is an application, okay? It's a Windows application developed by Microsoft that actually uses a spreadsheet to organize numbers and data with formulas and functions. Okay, it can also be used to perform statistical and financial analysis. So I'm going to teach you how to work with Microsoft Excel in this course. Okay, let's start. First thing you have to do, get your Excel ready. Okay, so here we are. Just click on your blank workbook. So this is actually our workbook. Okay, so right here, if you've actually laid your hands on Microsoft Word before, or any of the Microsoft application packages, you get to understand that they are almost the same, but just that each of them have a unique word identification, has its own unique word difference. Like the only difference between other applications and Excel is that it has a formula word menu, it has a data menu. Okay, that is the actual difference between other applications and Excel. Okay, right down here, I'm going to teach you how to play around with your Excel, how to start with your basic formulas, how to reference your cells, how to work with your functions, etc. Okay, so first thing we have to do, I want to teach you how to actually format your cells. Right here, I'll have to tell you now that Excel works with rows and columns. Okay, it actually work with what? Rows and what? Columns. These are your rows and these are your what? Columns. Okay, and in each row and column we have what? Cells in them. Each and every one of these I'm clicking right now is being known as what? A cell, where you can actually pass your what? Your formulas and functions and wherever. Okay, so right now I want us to start by setting up our print area, because after building whatever you are building, you need to set up a print area. So first we need to select this area. So I don't want to pass here, I have to stop here. Okay, I'll just go straight to what? Page layout, click on what? Print area, click on what? Set print what? Area. Actually it's loading now. I have my print area. If you watch, there is a line down below here and a line down below here. So this is actually my what? Print area. So that means I'm going to be working within the space of this. I don't have to pass these cells here. Okay, so right now I want to start by saying I want to get the record of students. Okay, I'll just type in student here. Now it's for Abia State Polytechnic. Abia State Polytechnic. Okay, so right here I can just highlight this man. I can just highlight this man, click on merge center. Sorry, just highlight this man. Okay, now I've actually merged this man. Sorry, we don't have to cross this line. Delete this cell. Okay, so we've actually merged this cell to the center. You can give it a font size, a font style. Can give it a font color. Can make it bigger. Okay, I'll actually push it down. Okay, okay, delete this cell. I don't want two cells here. Wrap text. Okay, right now we've actually gotten what we wanted. We've actually been able to set this. For you to actually get this, what you have to do, if you click on a particular cell, you drag, you select all the cell, you go to your what home, click on merge and center to actually merge the whole cell as what as one. Okay, but if you don't want it again, just click on what? Just click on merge and center again. It will actually take it off. Now the same thing goes here, and here we now have our what? Our form. You can actually highlight all this and give it a what? Font family. Give it a color. Can give it a color. Okay, you can make it bold. Okay, so now you can enter the names of your students. Name. Okay, so the department is SLT OTM. Bam. Now I got to change this to level. Level group. And then payments. Merge. Okay, so click right here to make the cell meet this width. If you watch, you have computer science and it's actually a seed from this cell to a new cell, so just go straight to this cell, double click here. Good. So we have here ND1, have ND2, have ND2, have HND1, have HND2. Okay, now the amount they made, we have person made the payment of 6,000. This person made the payment of 250. This person made the payment of 300, and this person made the payment of 4,500. So now I want to get the actual sum of what the students actually paid. So right down here we have I select these two cells and make center. Total amount made by the student. Total amount of payments. Okay, we want to get total amount of this payment that the students actually made. So how do you go about it? So I have to give this a very nice book. Okay. Make it bolder. We'll click on this. Sorry, I'll make this a little bit bold. Okay. So now I want the answer to be here. Okay, so what do I have to do? Using your basic formula, you have to pass equal to sign. Now start with what? Cell reference. This is what? E4 plus E5 plus E6 plus E7. Now hit what? Enter. So actually this is the amount paid by the what? Student. I need to format this man. Okay, so right now if you watch, these things are supposed to be in what? They're actually supposed to be in dollar sign, in, let's call it currency. They have to be formatted to what? Currency. They shouldn't be at normal. They shouldn't be as normal what? Number. So how do we do this? Just select the cells that you actually want to format. Okay, click on format cells. Go to format cell. Now we have this. Click on what? Currency. Okay, now I have to select the actual symbol you want, so I go with this man. Click on what? Okay. So right here now we have what? All these were symbol. Or if you don't want, you can still click here, choose the actual one you actually want. We have dollar, we have this sign, we have euro, depending on what you're actually working on. Okay, you can choose the what? You can actually choose the type of currency that you want. So the same thing goes here. Just click on this man. Good. So here we are. So actually this is how to work with your what? Basic what? Functions. So the next thing we're going to talk about is how to actually work with formulas and what? Functions. Okay, so let's start. So let's go ahead with our functions. So right now what I'm going to first lay hands on is the sum function. Now sum function is actually a function that allows you to sum a series of what? Numbers. Okay, so how do you go about that? Click on this cell. So right now I want to use our sum function. You call it sum, then bracket open, then the numbers you actually want to sum. I want to sum cells from E4 through what? To what? E7. Now hit what? Enter. So actually this is the sum of what? All this. So instead of using our normal basic formula E4 plus E5 plus E6 plus E7, so you can actually go straight and use our what? Sum what? Function. So if you watch, it's actually more advanced and actually more what? Simple. So the next thing we need to look into is our average function. So I call this average. So we need to get the average of all these our what? Payments made. The average of the payments what? Made. So pass your equal to first, then the average function. Average. I'll put your bracket. Now we want to get the average of the cells from E4 through what? E7. Sorry, E7. We close. So actually this is the average of all these numbers. Then another thing is our max function. What is our max function? The max function is actually the maximum amount. Okay, the maximum number on each what? Cell. Okay, so I want to get the maximum number on this cell. What do I mean by maximum? I mean the largest number on this cell. So what do I have to? I have to go to my equal to. I type my max function. Then I need to get the maximum number of cells, of the maximum number between the cells of E4 and E7. Okay, I want to know the actual maximum what amount here. So the maximum amount here, the largest number or the largest amount here is what? 6,000 naira. Okay, now we need to get the minimum amount. Okay, now I need to get the least amount made by a student here. Okay, so you can go to the equal to, you can go with your equal to, then mean, which is the what? Minimum what function. I want to get the minimum amount from cell E4 to cell E7. So the least amount here is actually what? 250. Okay, so another thing is sorry for writing this one here. Another thing is count. I want to count the number of rows from here to here. Okay, so count is actually, let me say, number of rows. Now I want to know the number of rows we have here. Okay, from E, I'll say equal to count A4 to what? To E7. Sorry, E7, sorry. E7. I want to know the actual number of rows here. I close and hit what? Enter. So we have what? 4 rows. And if you check, we have row 1, we have row 2, we have row 3, and we have what? Row 4. Okay, this is actually how to get the number of rows you're actually working on. So the next thing you need to look into right now is the if function, the hyperlink function, the sign function, the sum if function, the pmt function, etc. Okay, but before we look into all these functions right now, there are some certain things I need to lay hands on before we go into this advanced word function. So let me lay hands on those things first before we go to these advanced word functions. So what I actually want to lay hands on before going to the advanced functions are how to insert a new cell, how to insert a new column, how to insert a new row, how to delete the cell, how to delete a row, and how to actually delete what? A column. Now another thing is how to format your cells, how to sort your data, how to find and replace some of the informations, how to actually remove duplicated information, how to actually get data or get information or get other tables or something from other documents. Okay, how to actually get data from other sources like MS Access, etc. Okay, how to actually validate your data. So let's start with how to actually insert a new cell. If you want to insert a new cell, you can click on the actual place you want to insert the new cell. Let me, as you want to insert this new cell down, I click down here. I click on what? Insert. I click on what? Insert what? Cell. Click OK. Now I've actually succeeded in what? Inserting a what? A new cell. If I actually want to delete, I go to what? Delete. Click on delete. I've actually what? Deleted that particular what? Cell. Now if I want to add a new row, depending on where you want to add the new row, if I actually want to add the new row here, I click here. Like if I want to add it at the top, I click here. I go to what? Insert. Click on what? Insert what? Sheet row. Now I have a new what? Row. Now I can actually delete this row. Now how do I do that? I just go to my what? Delete. Click on my delete down here. I go to what? Delete what? Sheet rows. Actually, I've succeeded deleting that particular what? Row. If I want to still add a new row at the top level, I click at this point. Now click on what? Insert. Go to what? Insert sheet row. Now I've actually succeeded in what? Inserting a new row at the what? Top. If I still want to delete, I still go back to this man. click on what, delete what, sheet row. So this is actually how to add a new row, and how to actually play around and delete the new row. Now if you want to add columns, how do you go about that? Click on insert, click on insert sheet column. So actually right now we have a column down here. Okay, you can actually delete the column as well. Go to column, go to delete, click on delete sheet column. Good. So that is actually how to play around with your cells and your rows and columns. Now another thing I want to teach you is how to actually format your cells. Let's assume we want to have date on this our cell down here. We have date. Okay, sorry, I don't need this one. So we have date right there. Now I need to format this myself before typing in my date, so that when I'm typing, it will automatically take in effect immediately. So I have to click down there, go to format, click down here, go to format cells. Now I select date. Okay, now this is the date pattern that we have. So yeah, you should actually choose the one you actually want. Okay, so I go with this, click okay. Now the date is January, let's say 2nd, 2003. Click enter. Automatically it has formatted this particular cell. This is what I actually use, but look at what I got here. This is as a result of formatting my cells. I can still go to the next cell. I pass in 3rd May 1990. Click enter. So this is what we have here. Okay, now I can still go with let's say 10th of March, 10th of August 2000. I hit enter. Okay, that is it. This is October 8, 2000. Okay, so that is it. 8 October 2000. Now we have 10th. We have November 30th 2020. Hit enter. So here we go. Okay, so this is actually how to format your cell. Okay, if you actually want to have let's assume we have numbers here. We have 10, we have 20. So if you just double click here to fit in, double click here. Okay, we have 20, we have 30, we have 40. So I really want to format this myself. This is our percentage. I double click here to fit in. So I need to format this particular cell. I go to my format, click down here, go to format cell. I click on percentage. Okay, in how many decimal places do I actually want this? You can have it in 2 decimal places, you can have it in 1. So I go with 1. I click okay. Okay, so this is actually what I got. I've converted all this to percentage. You can actually delete, you can actually select and delete. Okay, now that you've actually formatted the cell, you can add your numbers: 1%, 2%, 5%, 10%. So that is it. That is actually how to play around with your cells, and how to format your cells. Now I actually want to teach you how to sort your data, etc. So right here now, I have names of students. Okay, I have names of students. So I want to format this actual cells down here. I want it to be in alphabetical what? Order. Okay, what do I have to do? I have to select. Okay, I'll click on what? Sort and filter. Now I want to sort it from A to what? Z. So I click on what? Sort A to what? Z. Now if you watch here, I now have Chika, Gosling, Kenneth, etc. Now I don't know if you actually, let me go back. Before we have Kenneth here, we have Gosling, we have Chika, and we have Ngozi. So for it to be in alphabetical order from A to Z, Chika should come first because C is the first, then followed by G, before K and N, etc. So just click on what? Sort. Go to what? Sort from what? A to what? Z. Click on what? Sort. So we now have Chika, we have Gosling, we have Kenneth, and we now have what? Ngozi. Now if you want it to be from Z to A, you click what? Sort from what? Z to A. Now Ngozi is now at the what? Top. Okay, that is actually how to what? Sort your what? Data. Now another thing I want to teach you is how to find and replace. Let's assume there was a text used. Let's assume a student gave a name and maybe there is a mistake in the name. The student want to actually correct the name. They want to actually correct that particular information. What do you have to do? Go to what? Select your whole data that you want to search for. Go to what? Find and replace. Click on what? Find. Okay, go to what? To replace. Now what are you looking for? We're looking for Chika. Okay, find next. Now actually you have actually located Chika by making this space to be white here. But actually keeping this white space here, it actually means we've selected the particular word information that you want. We've actually what? Find it. So what do you want to replace it with? I click on what? Replace. Then I'll have to replace it with Kingsley. Okay, I click on what? To replace. So actually right here you can see that we no longer have Chika here. What we actually have here now is now what? Kingsley. So you can click on what? Close. So that is actually how to find and do what? Replace. So let's assume you have informations that are wrong or that you want to actually replace. So that is actually how to get the informations. If at all you have cumbersome data and you can't scroll down to look for them and replace, it's just as simple as that. Go to your word, find and replace, type in the particular keyword or the particular item you want to search for, then replace. It's as simple as that. Then another thing I want to lay hands on is how to actually remove duplicated what? Files or what? Datas. Okay, how do we do that? Let me assume we have this particular row duplicated. Ctrl C, then we paste down here. Okay, so I have to highlight this cell, go to my data, click on what? Remove duplicates. Okay, now where do you want to remove duplicate? Depends on what you want to actualize. It depends on what you actually want to actualize. If you want to remove duplicate files in percentage, in date, in payment made, group level, and all the rest. Okay, if you want to remove duplicate files from all of them, you just have to leave it by default and click what? Okay. So they said one duplicate value found and removed. Okay, now 4 unique values what remaining. Click on what? Okay. So if you watch this particular row down here that was containing duplicated files, you've actually removed duplicated file. Okay, so that is actually how to play around with your what duplicated files if you want to remove them, etc. Okay, So now another thing I want to teach you about is how to actually lay hands on how to get information from other source and how to actually validate your data. Okay, so this actually assume that right down here we have let's say state. Okay, we have state. Hit enter. Now you need to validate your cells down here. I want to validate these cells. Okay, this particular state should only be Abia state. I actually don't want any other state to be written under this cell apart from Abia state. Okay, so how do you actually validate your cell? Go to your data. Click on data validation. Click on it. Click on data validation. Now this should be any value. How do you want it to be? Should it be a whole number? Should that place actually contain a decimal? Should it be a list? Should it be a date? Should it be time? Should it be custom, etc.? Okay, so it can be any value. Okay, now the input message is the title should be text. Input message should be this is for Abia state. Okay, now the error message here should be error. The message should be invalid entry. Okay, put message setting. Sorry, go back. Okay, sorry, there is a mistake here. There's a mistake here. Okay, sorry. Actually, how to actually validate your data? Click on data validation. Click on data validation. So you have to actually choose if it should be a whole number or decimal or list or date or time. Okay, so I want it to actually be a whole number. Okay, so if you actually pass anything that is not a whole number in that particular cell, it will automatically give you an error. Sorry, it shouldn't be a text. Okay, so I click on whole number. Okay, now if you don't want it to be a whole number, you click on decimal. If you actually want it to contain decimal, click on decimal. If you want it to be a list, click on list. Okay, now the source should be text. Okay, so if I don't want it to be a list, it depends on what you want to do. Okay, so I'm going with whole number here now. Okay, I'm going with whole number here now. So it should be between the number should be greater than or equal to. So the minimum I want is 0. Okay, now the input message is number. Then this is this cell contains a whole number. Okay, now the error message I really want to get, okay, is error, invalid what entry. And this error message comes up whenever you violate the what, the data validation. Once you violate it, this particular validation rule down here, this is actually a validation rule that I'm setting down here. So if you actually violate it, you get the what error what message. Click OK. Okay, let's change this man to shouldn't be a state. Let's change it to amount. Okay, so if I have if you click down there, there is an input what message. This is the said number. This cell contains a whole number. This is the title, and this is the what the input what message. So I have 40, enter. The next one I have 0.1. so it's actually telling me that there shouldn't be a decimal here. This is what an invalid what entry, because I've actually violated the rule. The actual validation rule that I set in this particular cell was what whole number, not what decimal. So that is why it is giving me this error message, because I've actually violated the rule. Okay, so I have to click what cancel. I go back, I change it to what 5, a whole number. Sorry, no, sorry, is there any mistake? Go back to my data validation, click down here, go to setting, whole number, greater than 0. Okay, this should be applied to all cells. Okay, should be actually applied to all cell. Okay, so whole number greater than 0. Okay, so I go with 0.1, invalid entry. Okay, I use 20, I use 1, 0.9, 1 point divided by 2. Okay, try 0.02. Okay, so this is actually how to validate your what data, etc. Okay, that's actually how to validate your data. So another thing I want to teach you about down here is how to actually get your data from a different source. How to get your information from a different source. So how do you go about that? Still click on your what data. You have access. This is actually the source where you can get information from. You have access. You have from the web. You have from text. You have from other what source, like your SQL server, your analysis services, from your marketplace, from your XML data imported from. There are so many other places where you can actually get your what information from. So today I'm going to just teach you how to get data from your what Microsoft what Access. Okay, so what do you do? Click on what Microsoft Access. Okay, you have to look for your Microsoft Access data that you wanna get information from. So let's say I'm going with ST student DB. Okay, I click on what open. So now I have two tables down here. I have student information as a table. If you watch over here, this is a table. I have student TB as what, a table. So it depends on the one I really want to get information from. So I'm going with student what, TB. Click what, OK. So now it's going to ask me, do you want it to be as a table, or as a pivot table report, or as a pivot chart? Depends on what you want to do. So I'm going with what, table. If you actually want it to be a pivot chart or pivot table, etc., then you can choose it yourself. So I'm going with what, table. I click on what, OK. So this is actually my what, this is actually my what, table. Okay, so I've been able to get information from what, other source. So this is actually how to get your information from different what, source in what, Microsoft what, Excel. So now the next thing I'm going to lay hands on now is the advanced what, functions. Okay, so where do we start? We're going to start with our if statement. So let's actually set our data so that we can go along with our if statement. So the first function we're going to start with here now is if function. Okay, so we need to use if function to get the grade of students according to their score. So how do you go about this? Just go to your cell, your grade cell, start your equal to sign. If this is D18, if D18 is greater than or equal to, is greater, not less than, greater than or equal to 80. Okay, now the value we want is, the value we want is A. Okay, else BC. Okay, so we hit what, enter. So here now we have what, BC, because it's actually less than 80. So what we have to do is just to drag this field down to make sure that particular function or that particular formula affects the whole word cell. Okay, so now we want to get a comment using the same if statement. Okay, now our comment here is going to be if E18 is equal to A. Okay, once it's equal to A, what we want is good result. Okay, else what we want is the result is okay. Nice. Okay, so you close your bracket and hit enter. So here we have what, nice. Okay, so you have to drag this field down here to get your what, comment. So that is actually how to work with if statements. Okay, so the next thing I want to teach is how to get the radius and the sign of a what, of a degree. So how do you go about this? Down here, start with your equal to sign, type radians, Now my degree is under H what 18. H what 18. Okay, so I hit enter. So I've actually gotten the radian here. So I push down. So this is actually the radian of this what degree. Okay, the next I need to find is the what sine. Okay, so how do I go about that? I start with equal to sine. Okay, H what 18. Okay, not H 18, I 18. Okay, so you hit enter. Now you scroll down. So this is actually how to get the radius and the sine of what you have to get the radius of the degrees and the sine of the what radius. That's actually how to work with that. Then another thing I need to lay my hands on is hyperlinking. How to actually put hyperlinking to your words, to your files or to your data. Okay, so let's assume we have names of books. So at which source can we get this? Okay, let's assume this is a textbook, Java how to program. So where we can get this textbook is let me give you a link. Hyperlink is actually what a link. So you start with what hyperlink. Sorry. Now open your brackets, passing the URL, the link location. Okay, so I'll pass in http column / java.com. Close my bracket, I hit enter. Sorry. Okay, it should be in a quote. This should be in a quote. So this is it. If you watch over here, this is a hyperlink. Okay, so if you click here now, unable to open this, can locate the internet server, click OK. But this is actually what a hyperlink. You can click here to go somewhere else. Okay, so that is actually how to add a hyperlink to your what data. Then another thing I want to lay my hands on is what we call PMF. Okay, what is PMF all about? Actually is a PMT, sorry, not PMF. It's actually a financial function that returns the periodic payment for a loan. Okay, you can actually use this PMT function to figure out payment for a loan, given the loan amount, number of period, and interest rate, etc. Okay, so it is actually a financial what functions. So I really want to lay my hands on that financial function to teach you how it works. Okay, so now look at our loan. Like I said before, that the PMT function is a financial functions that returns the periodic payment for a what loan. Is actually meant for loan. Okay, for loan computation. That is actually what this PMT is made for. So how do you go about that? Now we have our what annual rate. Okay, we have our annual rate, we have the loan in term year, we have the loan, we have future value, we have when payment is what is due. So these are the actual things that PMT work with. Okay, so if you were to get the annual payment of this loan, now how do you go about it? Let's assume the loan was just 100,000. Okay, so what is this person expected to pay per year? So to calculate this, we go to our cell, click on this, type PMT, open the bracket. So if you watch down here, we have rate, okay, which is the annual interest rate. We have the NPA, which is the total number of payments for the loan. Okay, we have PV, which is the present value. We have the FV, which is the future value. We have type, which is the payment when due, as in when is payment due. If you are representing with 0, it actually means that the payment will be due at the end of the period. If you are using 1, it means that the payment will be due at the beginning of the period. Simple as that. Okay, so we go with this is F29, if I'm not mistaken. It should be F29. This is 29, F29, yeah. So PMT F29, 29, comma F30, comma F31, comma F32, comma F33. Okay, so we close our bracket and hit enter. Okay, so this is the annual payment expected from this for this loan over here. Okay, this is the actual payment expected for the loan. So PMT can actually be used for so many things. Like maybe you may be asked, okay, you may be asked maybe find the amount of a periodic payment on a, let's say, 50,000 loan with 10% annual interest for a duration of 5 years. Okay, you may be asked to get the weekly payment, the monthly payment, the quarterly payment, the semi-annual payment, etc. All these you can only achieve them using your PMT financial function. Okay, so right now this is where I'm going to stop for the functions. There will be an advanced an update of this course whereby I told you I'm going to lay my hands on full version of this financial function. I'm going to take it bit by bit, one by one. After that, we go to logical functions, we go to text functions, we go to math and trigonometry, we go to lookup and references. That will be on our next course, and it will be an update of this particular course. So one other thing I need to lay my hands right now is I've never taught you how to actually create a new sheet. If you actually want to create a new sheet, just click down here, click here to create a new sheet. So this is our first sheet, this is the second one. Okay, so if you want to delete a sheet, just right click here, click on delete. If you want to hide it, click on hide. So I can click on delete right here. Okay, so another thing is I want to teach you how to save your Microsoft Excel file. Just click down here, go to save. Click down here, go to save as. Now I have to choose the location where you want to save your file, either on your documents, on your downloads, on your desktop, wherever. So I have to browse. I'll go to my documents. I will save Teach Excel. Save it as Excel workbook. Simple as that. Save as Excel workbook. Then you click save. That is actually how to save in Microsoft Excel. Then when I was teaching you guys today about how to get data from a different source, so I made mention of access. There are some issues people have most of the times. If you're trying to select a record, let me choose this record, click open. These are my informations. I can select any table and I place. Most of the times you actually don't get those information. Most of the times it is a cause that your access files are not enabled. Okay, whenever you encounter an error while trying to get information from access, what you have to do is just go straight to Access, open that particular file in Access, and enable that what table. It's as simple as that. Then another thing I want to lay my hands on now before I go is how to make use of a what charts. How to place charts and graphs on your tab on your datas. Let's assume I want to get a chart of this radius, my degree, radius, and what sign. So how do I go about it? I'll just have to select this man, go to my chart. I have to choose the chart that I want. Let me see if I can go with columns. Sorry, no. I'll go with this chart. So I choose this chart, click on it. So actually I've gotten a chart here for my what degree, radius, and what sign. So right, I have degree, I have radius, I have what sign. Okay, so this is actually my chart. I can move around, can take it to any location that I want. I can actually edit. Okay, can change the design view. Okay, I think I should go with this man. If you don't want that, you can actually click down here to select the actual one you want. So I'm going with this man. You can actually edit, can remove this title and put your own. You can call it radius. Sorry, did I delete? Oh, you can still add borders to it. Okay, okay, so we're good to go here. So this is actually for degree. Okay, so that is how to actually add charts to your Microsoft Word, Excel Word data. If you want to get a chart from your data for your data, it's as simple as that. So I think so far so good. We've tried laying hands on Microsoft Excel. Like I told you, we're gonna have an update of this course later. So thank you so much for watching, and God bless you.